In this video, I'll be working through the question you see on the screen here from the Maths Paper 1-3 from 2024 Cambridge A-Level exams. If you're looking for a different question from this paper, have a look in the description below. There should be a link to a playlist. And if you're looking for a different paper entirely, have a search on my channel. I'll be doing all this on a whiteboard, hopefully just like you're used to doing in the classroom. But remember, we're not in the classroom, we're on YouTube, so take advantage of that. Pause, rewind, even watch it at a different speed. If you find this video or any of my videos useful, I would greatly appreciate a like, a subscribe, a share, or even a super thanks.
In question 8, we're given this equation for a circle and we're told it hits the y-axis at 2 points, and at those points we get tangents, and we want to find the point where those tangents intersect. Now, there's 8 marks for this question, and this question really only deserves maybe 6 marks if they helped you at a few of those steps, but they don't. So what you're getting all these marks for is to be able to go from the very beginning to the very end without any help. So I'm going to try and step you through my thinking at every point. I also want to say there's at least that I can think of 3 or 4 ways to do this question. I'm going to do it the most common way, but this question specifically has a few shortcuts in it, which I'm going to leave. I'm going to do it the entire way through, but at the end then I'll talk about where you could have saved a little time, and I'll mention some of the other ways you could have done it. Okay, that out of the way. This is an equation of a circle. It's not the most common way to see an equation of a circle, but it is one that it's helpful to be familiar with. The other way is often x minus something, the center of the circle, the x part of the center squared, plus y minus the y part of the center squared equals r squared. These can be moved between them. So it is important that you know half of this number minus half of this number. Well, actually half of this number is this here, and minus half of that is the center. So the center of the circle is 3, half of this and minus it, minus 1. So it's important that you're able to get the center of this circle from this equation. You don't need the radius in this case. I'll just quickly point out that's got by completing the square. That's x squared minus 6x here. If we complete the square of this, we'd need a plus 9 here. So that would become x minus 3 squared, and that's how we get the center like that. I've just added an extra 9 in. I do the same for the y squared plus 2y. If I add an extra 1 in there, that completes that square, and we get plus 1 squared. The problem is I've added an extra 10 in, so I need to take that away, minus 10, and there was also a minus 15. So that's where we get equals 25. So the center, the radius is 5. We don't need this, I just wanted to point it out. It is handy that I can draw it now. If you can ever draw something, do it. It'll help you think about the whole question. Here's the y-axis. The center would be, let's put the x-axis there. Center's 3 and 1, let's say here. And the radius is 5. So it goes all the way out to here. And I don't need an exact circle, just roughly here. It hits the y-axis in 2 points. We're going to call them A and B. Doesn't matter which way around you call it. We'll say A and B. And they have a tangent. Tangents at this point. And they meet, they should meet exactly across here. So let me just do that, because just to make sure, they should meet at the same height as that. That's we don't need to know that. Actually, you know what, the rest of this question I'll assume we don't know that, but that's one of the shortcuts you could take, knowing that it hits at the same height as this one. So we'll leave that for now, but I will mention that at the end. Okay, how do you do this question? Because it's a very common question, tangents and circles. It's very common to be asked to find the tangent of a circle, and that's how we find this point. Find the equation of this, the equation of this, and they'll intersect at this point. So let's just do that. We need to know this point here, and we need to know the slope. So it's hard to get the slope of this line, but it's easy to get the slope of this line here, and that's perpendicular. That's the real secret. Same down here, we can get this point, but we can't get the slope. We can get this slope, and it's perpendicular. So that's what the job here will be. Let's start with the top line. I need to find out what A is. A is definitely 0 something, because it's on the y-axis. So we simply put 0 into one of these equations. So we pretty much put 0 into this equation here for x. So that just becomes y squared plus 2y, because that's 0, and minus 15 equals 0. That's a quadratic. It's not only going to find us A, it's going to find us B as well. Let's put B in, because that's 0 as well. It's going to find us the two answers we're looking for. Just solve this. 3 times 5 will make 15 and combine to get 2. So it's y, let's see, we want a plus 5 and a minus 3 will make all this work. So y is minus 5, or y is equal to 3. So the higher, this one must have been 3, 0, 3, and this one must be 0 minus 5. So there are 2 points. Again, we want the equation, so we want the slope of this line. Let's get the slope of this one first. The centre, remember the centre is 3 minus 1. So we just need the slope between 0, 3 and 3 minus 1. Let's see, the rise over the run, or the formula is the y, the difference in the y's. 3 minus 1, that's 4. 0 minus 3, that's minus 3. So the reciprocal of that, the slope we're actually looking for, is m is equal to 3 over 4. That's that slope here. It's rising. While we're here, let's do the other one. The other one is 0 minus 5 and 3, 1. Again, that's the slope between these two. Let's see, the difference is minus 5 minus 1 is minus 4. 0 minus 3 is minus 3. That's equal 4 over 3. So the slope we're looking for is minus 3 over 4. Let's write them in over here. Let's see, this is 3 over 4 and this is minus 3 over 4. Next job is to find the equation of both of these lines. I'll do the top one a little slowly. Equation of a line would be y is equal to the slope. We know the slope, 3 over 4 x plus c. I'll do this a little silly and a little slowly. To find c, we put in a point. Y is 3, x is 0, so that becomes 0, plus c. We're left with 3 is equal c. So to write it again, we get y is equal 3 over 4 x plus c. I should have known c was 3, because it's the y-intercept. So I can actually do this one. I'll do this one straight away. This one is y is equal minus 3 over 4 x, that's the slope, and the y-intercept is minus 5. So quite easy to get the slopes, the equations of the lines. And where do these two intersect? What is this point? Just add them together. We'll get 2 y's. These cancel. They're opposite each other. And oh sorry, I meant to put in a 3 here. Add these together, we get minus 2. Y is equal minus 1. I mentioned there were shortcuts. We already knew y was minus 1. It's the same height. Same height as here. That was one of the shortcuts. Still, we're not finished. We know this point is something minus 1. What's x? We still need one of these. You didn't have to get both of these equations, because we already had a line that we could have intercepted. So anyway, whichever one of these equations you want, you know y. So let's take the top one here. Minus 1 for y is equal 3 over 4 x plus 3. Let's multiply everyone by 4. Minus 4 is equal 3x plus 12. Take 12 away from both sides. We get 3x is equal minus 16. X is equal minus 16 over 3. And that's the answer. Minus 16 over 3. Let me point out a few shortcuts you could have taken. First of all, the one I mentioned, you should have known y is minus 1 from nearly the beginning. It's in line with the centre. It's also halfway between these 2 points. Halfway through those two is minus 1 as well. Once you knew that, all you had to do was get one equation. So one equation, you could have found x. You only would have saved a minute or two, so not too much there. Some different ways you could do the question entirely. Once you found the slope, well, 3/4 here. Remember what the slope tells us. The slope actually tells us the equation to the x-axis. I know that's not the x-axis, but it's parallel. It tells us the angle in here. A tangent of this angle is equal to the slope. So inverse tangent of the slope is equal to the angle. If you had the angle, you could have got a triangle like this, right angle. You now know this angle in here, whatever it is, and you could get this length by the distance between these two. Or we did it over here, the r squared. So that was 5. 3 things. 1, 2, 3. You know 3 things about this? You could get this length here. And this length would tell you what this x number was. Because remember, this length to the centre is 3. That's that. So you would have just found out this length here is what's that? 16/3. Although you'd have to make sure you put a minus in because we're going left. We're going minus world. That was another way to do it. That was quite a nice way to do it. There's probably I haven't looked too much at it, but there might be some tricky way with geometry because of all these shapes are equal and stuff. Maybe, I'm not sure. Another way to do it, I guess can we find this length here? Or maybe not actually. We could have maybe just said there's a circle starting here and a circle here and they meet here, but I don't know if we have enough for that. Maybe with this line being -1, maybe that's another way. Again, that's a horrible way to do it, even if it works here. The other common way is to differentiate. That just gets you the slope a different way. Differentiating this equation here and putting x equals 0 will get you would have got you 2 answers. I'm guessing. I haven't done it, but it should have got you this slope and that slope. And once you have the slopes, you can do what we did. You could do the angle. So there's lots of choices with circles. Hopefully I didn't confuse you there at the end. If you want to ask me any questions about the other ways, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.